A warm welcome to another class of botany. In today's class, we are going to study about two life processes in bacteria, that is respiration and nutrition. First, let's study about respiration. In bacteria, there are two types of respirations are found. They are aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Already we have studied aerobic respiration means the respiration which takes place in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration means respiration which takes place in the absence of oxygen. Now we are going to study about this aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration in bacteria. Aerobic respiration. Now these bacteria, they require oxygen as terminal acceptor and will not grow under anaerobic condition. So here these bacteria, they require oxygen for their growth. They cannot grow in the absence of oxygen. Example for aerobic bacteria, it is Streptococcus. They are said to be obligate aerobes. Obligate means strictly. Okay, strictly aerobes, obligate aerobes or strictly means these bacteria can grow only in the presence of oxygen. Such type of example for such type of bacteria is Micrococcus. They can require, they essentially or strictly they requires oxygen to survive. They are called as obligate aerobes. Next, we are going to study about anaerobic bacteria and anaerobic respiration in bacteria. These bacteria, they do not use oxygen for growth and metabolism. Okay, anaerobic bacteria, they do not require oxygen for their growth and metabolism. So they get the energy from fermentation process. Okay, that is breakdown in the absence of oxygen. So here the anaerobic bacteria, they do not use oxygen for the growth and metabolism, but they require the energy. That energy they obtain from the fermentation process. Example for anaerobic respiration in bacteria is Clostridium. Some of the anaerobic bacteria, they are facultative anaerobes. Okay, facultative anaerobes means they are adjustable type. If there is presence of oxygen, they will survive there. Okay, and if after utilizing all the oxygen, a situation will arise of lack of oxygen, that is anaerobic condition is created there. At that time, they will grow as an anaerobes. So there are bacteria that can grow either using oxygen as a terminal electron acceptor or anaerobically using fermentation reaction to obtain the energy. When a facultative anaerobe such as E. coli that is Escherichia coli is present in the human intestine. So here this Escherichia coli, they act as facultative anaerobes. So how it's so that we are going to study now. It can rapidly consume all the available oxygen and change into anaerobic metabolism, producing an anaerobic environment, and thus allow the anaerobic bacteria that are present to grow and cause the disease. So here this Escherichia coli in the intestine, in the presence of oxygen, it will grow, it will live as an aerobes. They will utilize all the oxygen available there. They will grow and they will increase their population. Then by utilizing the oxygen, there is a lack condition is arising where there is lack of oxygen. At that time, this E. coli, they will live as an anaerobes. That is, in the absence of oxygen, they will grow and they will cause the disease. So another example for facultative anaerobe is Salmonella typhi. Okay. There are another type of bacteria also which do not require oxygen, but they require carbon dioxide for their growth. So bacteria which require carbon dioxide for their growth, they are called as capnophilic bacteria. Example is Campylobacter. So here capnophilic bacteria, they are the bacteria which require carbon dioxide for their growth. So here we have studied in respiration and bacteria. That is, bacteria, they grow in the presence of oxygen. Then they are called as aerobes. Okay. So some of the bacteria are obligate aerobes. That is, they strictly require oxygen for their growth. Some of the bacteria, they can grow in the absence of oxygen. Then they are called as anaerobes. Okay. And there are some type of bacteria which can grow only in the presence of carbon dioxide. Then they are called as capnophilic bacteria. Next life process we are going to study is about nutrition. Okay. On the basis of the mode of nutrition, bacteria, they are classified into two types, autotrophs and heterotrophs. We know autotrophs means the organism can prepare their own food. Heterotrophs, the organism cannot prepare their own food, they depend on other organisms for their food. So here first we are going to study about autotrophic bacteria. So bacteria which can synthesize their own food, they are called as autotrophic bacteria. Autotrophic bacteria can synthesize, can prepare their own food. So here, depending on the source of energy they require for preparing the food, they are classified into two types, photoautotrophic bacteria and chemoautotrophic bacteria. So depending on the source of energy, from where they are getting the energy. If they are getting the energy from the sunlight, they are called as photoautotrophic bacteria. Suppose if they are getting the energy by the breakdown of any substance, then it is called as chemoautotrophic bacteria. So first let's study about photoautotrophic bacteria. Now photoautotrophic bacteria, they utilize sunlight as the source of energy for to synthesize food. So here photoautotrophic bacteria, as we have studied, photo means light. So here these bacteria, they utilize the sun's energy to prepare their food. They are based on from where they are getting the hydrogen. Okay. The photosynthesis in bacteria as well as in higher plants is different. Okay. In higher plants, the source of hydrogen is water. By the breaking of water, the plants, they get the hydrogen. Whereas in bacteria, the source of hydrogen is different. It can be from an inorganic source or it can be from any organic source. Okay. So here, based on the source from where they are getting the hydrogen, they are further classified into photolithotrophs. If they are getting the hydrogen from an inorganic substance, then it is called as photolithotrophs. If it is getting the hydrogen from an organic substance, it is called as photoorganotrophs. Now first we will study about photolithotrophs. So here in photolithotrophs, the hydrogen donor is an inorganic substance. So there are two types, green sulfur bacteria and purple sulfur bacteria. Now as we have studied, photolithotrophs, they utilize the sun energy, get the hydrogen from an inorganic source. Now since it is requiring, it can trap the sunlight, it should have the photosynthetic pigment. So in the green sulfur bacteria, the photosynthetic pigment found is bacterioviridin. Okay, in green sulfur bacteria, the photosynthetic pigment is bacterioviridin. And this green sulfur bacteria will get the hydrogen from H2S. The source of hydrogen for green sulfur, green sulfur bacteria is H2S. So, we have studied green sulfur bacteria. It is a photolithotrophs which gets the hydrogen from the H2S, or the donor of hydrogen is H2S. They have the photosynthetic pigment called bacterioviridin and they can synthesize their own food. Example for this is chlorobium. Next is the purple sulfur bacteria. This bacteria, for bacteria which belong to this group, the hydrogen donor is thiosulfate. Okay, it is thiosulfate. So hydrogen it is getting from the thiosulfate. Now this bacteria also has the photosynthetic pigment that is called as bacteriochlorophyll. Okay, so here they can synthesize their own food. Example for this purple sulfur bacteria is chromatium. Next, we are going to study about photoorganotrophs. Photoorganotrophs means this group of bacteria, they get the utilize the organic acid or alcohol as a hydrogen donor. They get the hydrogen from an organic source, that is an organic acid or an alcohol. Example are purple non-sulfur bacteria. For example for that is Rhodospirillum. Next, we are going to study about the chemoautotrophic bacteria. Chemoautotrophic, chemoautotrophic bacteria, as we studied, they do not have the photosynthetic pigments. Okay, so they cannot use the sunlight. This type of bacteria, they obtain the energy from organic or inorganic substances. Okay, by the breakdown of the organic or inorganic substances, they get the energy. That energy they utilize for preparing their own food. So they are also classified into two types. Okay, chemolithotrophs and chemoorganotrophs. Chemolithotrophs, this type of bacteria, they oxidize or they break down the inorganic compound to release the energy. Example, sulfur bacteria, iron bacteria, hydrogen bacteria, nitrifying bacteria. So here these are the different types of examples are given for the chemolithotrophs. Next, we are going to study about chemoorganotrophs. This type of bacteria, they oxidize the organic compounds to release the energy. Okay, so this type of bacteria, they get the energy by the breakdown of any organic substance. Example, methane bacteria, acetic acid bacteria, lactic acid bacteria. Okay, so here this we have studied about the autotrophic mode of nutrition. So autotrophic we have studied, they can prepare their own food. They are of two types depending on the source of energy, photoautotrophs and chemoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs are further classified based on the source from where they are getting the hydrogen, photolithotrophs and photoorganotrophs. Next, we have studied the chemoautotrophic bacteria. They get the the source of energy is by the oxidation of any organic or inorganic substance. Next mode of nutrition we are going to study in bacteria is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition in bacteria. So heterotrophs means these type of bacteria, they get the food from other organisms. They cannot prepare their own food. So here different types of mode of find there, that some bacteria, they are parasites. Parasites means these organisms, this bacteria will get the food from any other living organism. So parasites, they get the food from or they take the food from any other living organism, then they are called as parasites. Example for parasitic bacteria is mycobacteria. Some bacteria, they show saprophytes. They are saprophytes or they show saprophytic mode of nutrition. So here these saprophytes, they are the group of bacteria which get the food from any dead organism. Okay, saprophytes, they get the food from any dead organism. Okay, and they cause the breakdown of the dead remains. Third type of nutrition in bacteria is symbiotic. Symbiotic means an association between two organisms. So some bacteria, they live in on other organism where the bacteria is also benefited and the other organism on which this bacteria is living, that organism is also benefited. For example, we have studied in leguminous plants the bacteria Rhizobium. Rhizobium we have studied in the root nodules of leguminous plants. So here this bacteria, they lives in the root nodules of the leguminous plants, and this bacteria will get the shelter and food from the plant. In turn, the plant will get the nitrogen. This bacteria will help in fixing the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. So this type of mode of nutrition is called as heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So as we studied, hetero means different. So some bacteria, they cannot synthesize their own food. They depend on another organisms for their food. If they depend on the living organism for the food, that mode of nutrition is called as parasitic. If they get the food from any dead remains, dead organisms, then it is called as saprophytes. Some of the bacteria, they live in association with other organism, and both the organisms are benefited. That mode of nutrition is called as symbiotic mode of nutrition. So here this we have studied about the uh, life process. Through life process we studied nutrition as well as